So here are the basic requirements to apply to any of the teachers training colleges in Ghana. Now check out this result slip that I'm going to leave on the screen. So in this result slip, you realize that the person had social D7 and literature F9. And so the person is confused as to whether he or she qualifies to apply to any of the teachers training college, any of the nurses training college, or even the university. And so in this video, I'm going to show you some guidelines on how to apply to any of the tertiary institutions when you have deficits like this. First of all, the basic requirement to apply to any of the teachers training colleges in Ghana is strictly A1 to C6. And so you have to get your EMS. When I talk of EMS, I'm specifically referring to your English, mathematics, and science. You have to get at least A1 to C6. And then choose your best 3 elective subjects and make sure you have A1 to C6. Now, per this result you're seeing, the person has A1 to C6 when it comes to the English, mathematics, and science. And then with the 3 best electives, you have to select your 3 best electives. Even though the person has F9 in one of the electives, does not mean that the person doesn't qualify to apply. However, also kindly take note that your choice of program is always important when it comes to the selection of program. For example, let's say if this person wants to read a course like arts, or let's say English at any of the tertiary institutions, then he or she may or may not qualify due to the fact that he or she has F9 in literature. But here, the person wants to attend the teachers training college, and then he or she has EMS and then has 3 best elective subjects. Now, at the teachers training college, we have programs like the early grade, that is the early childhood education, we have the upper primary education, and we have the JHS education. This person is qualified to choose the early childhood education, the upper primary childhood education, or the JHS education. All depends on the choice or whatever the person would love to read. Now, when it comes to the JHS education, we have specialities. We have courses like mathematics and science. We have mathematics and ICT. We have science and technical. We have science and ICT, of which these are going to be your major courses, or you are going to major during your 4-year stay on campus. Whereas when it comes to the upper primary education, people or students major courses like the social studies, it's generally it deals with a general program, and so kindly also take note of that. And so if you are a student, a senior high school leaver who probably wants to apply to any of the tertiary institutions, most especially when it comes to the teachers training college, I highly advise that you make sure that you have at least A1 to C6 in all your 3 core subjects. When I talk of core subjects, I'm referring to your English, mathematics, and science. And then when I talk of elective subjects, I'm referring to your 3 best elective subjects. Now, instances, there are cases where students would have to replace, let's say, their science in place of social studies. Let's say the person had D7 in science and then B3 or B2 in social studies. This student can use social studies in place of science, but then that will be possible if the person would love to read anything related to social studies. If the person would love to read anything related to science, then the person would have to resit for the science subject and make sure he or she passes before he or she can apply. So basically, that's how the selection of courses and the application of institution, that's how it works. So for nurses training too, you need the English, math, science. Nurses training, we don't deal with social studies. But then when it gets to the tertiary institutions, that is the university, you can use social in place of science, and you can use English in place of social. You can interchange them. But then if you want to read any course at the teacher's training, kindly take note that it is English, Maths, and Science. I hope I was able to rectify this clearly, and if you have questions, please feel free to leave your questions or comments via the comment section, and I'll gladly respond to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm definitely going to see you in another episode. Stay tuned and stay blessed.